Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Teen Wolf, the season finale for Season 3B. And let me just tell you, this is an epic ending of an episode. But before I start talking about this episode, I just want to give you guys a little update. Tonight, 11:45 p.m. Eastern Time, me and Jeremy on Mr. J's Comics are going to be doing a big live show for Teen Wolf, talking about overall what happened on Teen Wolf Season 3B, and of course talking about the finale. That's actually going to be Jeremy's review, but I did want to, talk about with my own review for this episode also. So go check that out. I'll have a link for Jeremy's channel in the description below. But let's talk about this episode of Teen Wolf. So this is the season finale. We did have a longer season with Season 3, and we're going to be returning with Teen Wolf episodes this June, so we have to wait a little longer, but usually just, obviously, the shorter wait than what we usually have to wait with Teen Wolf. So in this episode, we get to see the ending of, this major battle. The other styles, the Void, and we figure out that Allison actually is a key to defeating the Void, defeating evil styles, because silver arrows actually kill these ninjas, and also styles. But we get to see two different groups. There's actually a couple of groups. Let's talk about the parents. Parents are just getting, cut up. That's something that's going on with them. They're pretty much, are they gonna die, aren't they gonna die? They're the tension behind us. Is Melissa gonna die? Is Scott's dad gonna come back? But they're just cut up, and the choice that Scott has is either kill Styles or to let everyone else that's been cut up die. And how is Styles going to get out of this? And in the end, they do get out of it. They kill evil Styles, and also Aiden, Ethan, and Derek, they team up to defeat the main ninja. I know I'm not going to pronounce this right, the Nikitsune. So they defeat the big one, the big ninja, and Aiden actually dies in the end. So Aiden's the big death here. No one else dies in this episode besides Aiden. There's, again, a lot of people that could have died, like Melissa. She was like, oh my god, is Melissa gonna die? And she's someone that could die, but she didn't end up dying, but Aiden did end up dying, which I was actually really shocked by, which we'll get into deaths and everything, but that does happen with Aiden, and they defeat the main villain. They all work together. And then we get an ending where, of course, that means lead up to Season 4, where Malia seems like she's going to be a big part of the next season. Kira's getting comfortable in the school, not being the new girl anymore. It seems like Lydia and Kira are going to be good friends. It seems like Kira is kind of replacing Allison in a way as the love interest, and even as Lydia's best friend, maybe. That seems like the direction they're going in the end. Also, it's still mourning of Allison. I like that it wasn't the whole episode mourning Allison, but they really did a great job of sprinkling the mourning of Allison in this episode. But also in the end, a big epic ending that made me smile on the edge of my seat is Derek is having dreams and telling who Styles about the dream. And what is the dream? That the Hunters are back. We've been getting some things about the Hunters, and who is back, who is a werewolf. This epic blue werewolf is Kate Argent herself, Jill Wagner, which I definitely want to talk about. So, I obviously summed up the episode, but I want to talk about this big ending with Jill Wagner with Kate Argent. Now, why am I keep saying the actress's name? It's just because she's been doing Teen Wolf for such a long time, even though she hasn't been on the show. She did a lot of obviously she's doing Wolf Watch. She did a lot of the after shows even before Wolf Watch. So obviously she still likes the show. And I love that Jeff Davis brought Kate back in a really awesome way. Making her a werewolf, saying, yeah, Kate's not dead. Let's just bring her back to be the epic villain for the next season. I think that's perfect. And I was like, where can you go after the Japanese mythology, after Akanama? Like, where do you go? And, Jeff Davis just shocks us again. And I love that ending. I think that's a great cliffhanger, even better than, honestly, Season 3A cliffhanger, or really great cliffhanger. I think this has been the best cliffhanger for a season finale. I really can't think of any other season finales that I felt like this was as good of a cliffhanger for that last scene, which we know we had the alpha stuff going on, you know, season 2 cliffhanger, but this was the best cliffhanger so far. I loved it, and I can't wait to learn more about Kate and how she is a special werewolf. And one thing I love about the season finales is that they do plant the seeds for the next season just in the last few minutes. So let's talk about that before we talk about deaths and how this episode was organized. I really liked, again, the Kira-Lydia friendship going on. I really like that. Hopefully they continue that with the next season. Even though Lydia didn't have much to do this episode, and I feel like they're trying to get Lydia to do something, I think they really need to expand on the Banshee power. Like, I love that she could tell death, but I think she needs a little bit more to her power, and I think that's definitely a confirmation in this episode, because she didn't have much to do this episode. So as a Lydia fan, I want her to do a little bit more. So that's one thing I would say I would like to see. You know, Stiles having his clear mind was great, so hopefully we'll be happy Stiles next season. And then Malia, I think she's going to be a big part with the next season. Of course, they planted the seeds with her being Peter's daughter. And I really liked her character from where she was introduced. And I think Coyote is very interesting. Her joining the school, which I think we all saw was going to happen. Being Stiles' new love interest, but now that Aiden's dead, is Lydia the love interest also? So that'll be an interesting love triangle. And who do you want more, Malia or Lydia? Or Derek? Because also we had that conversation in the end. So maybe Derek is in this love square, which Derek is always in the love square anyways. So I do think it's interesting for Star Trek fans that they had that. So love the ending. I think it's perfect. Planted the seeds for a really cool season 4, which I'm really looking forward to this summer. I really liked the episode. I thought it was really epic. Aiden's death. I liked it, you know, even though we had Allison's death, to have another death. I wouldn't say it's really a main character death, because Aiden and Ethan just joined the pack. I would say it's more of a secondary character death, which was still impactful, because I love the twins. And it's going to be sad not to see Ethan. It seems like he's going away also, which I want to talk about that Danny and Ethan scene. I love that Danny just revealed saying, hey, yeah, I knew about werewolves. Yeah. You didn't have to tell me you're a werewolf, you know, it's Beacon Hills. So I love that they didn't have to tell Danny. It's just he already knew. And that was always, you know, in the back of our minds, does Danny know about werewolves? He's like the only one that doesn't. But he's knew about werewolves this whole time, which he's not stupid. So I love that about Danny. I would like to see Ethan here and there. I don't know if he'll be in the next season. Because Aiden's gone. Ethan's kind of like, hey, bye. I don't know if that was just more of a breakup or if he's actually leaving. But I would actually just like to see Ethan become his own person, because with the twins, it was always Aiden and Ethan. It was, you know, never, hey, these two characters are different. They're always together. So I would actually like to see them explore Ethan's character a little bit more. But I don't know what's going to happen with the character, and I thought Aiden's death was really good. You know, he went out in a really good way, saying, hey, I was a hero. I did what Scott wanted. And I loved Derek's speech about that in this episode too. Is like, Scott doesn't want you to follow him. He wants to follow his cause, which is to help his friends. And I think Aiden definitely did that in this episode. Love that. And again, with the Allison thing, I liked how she went out in a way with this episode, because she's kind of the one who saved the day. She figured out about the silver arrows before anyone else, and they still utilized that with this season, or this episode, even though she died. So I would love to see a funeral, yeah, a little bit more mourning, but I think that's going to happen more in season 4. They're going to mourn more about her, but there's so much going on, they couldn't mourn so much, and that's why Scott was really crying in the end. Really good episode. 4.5. I gotta give it 4.5. I can't compare which episode was better, this episode or last, because last episode was really shocking because of a death, and but still a great crafted episode. With this, it was shocking because of a reveal, and I think those are the best shock moments in television. Not really deaths. I feel like, oh, you know, that's such a cop-out time. Not Teen Wolf saying, but there are times where death is a cop-out to have a shock factor, which again, that doesn't really happen in Teen Wolf, but to really have a shocker like Kate Argent and make you, oh, like, you know, on the edge of your seat, can't close your mouth. That's a great moment, and that's what Teen Wolf did for me this episode. So I don't know which one's better. You know, I'm gonna go with the 5. I'm going to 5 stars for Teen Wolf. And I think this episode was the best compared to the Allison episode, which I loved also. So, yeah, I'm going to give this 5 stars. Love this episode. Can't wait for June's episodes in the next season. And can't wait to see where these characters go. Really cool character development on all parts with every character this episode. Besides Lydia. Lydia could have been used a little bit more this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Of course, I'll be reviewing Teen Wolf when it returns, and I will see you guys later. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the Rant Situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.